Hello and welcome to Everything to Guppy, the podcast where we talk about every single item, every single enemy, every single everything in the Binding of Isaac. I'm William Hughes, and I'm joined, as always, by a guy who's a pickle! It's a pickle! Gary Butterfield. You're a pickle.
Funniest damn thing I ever saw. Look at me. I'm Pickle Gary.
How often do you say that phrase, Gary?
Funniest damn thing I ever saw?
Yeah.
Not that often. I just picked it up again because I was reminded of Elon Musk going on about Pickle Rick.
Fair enough. Boy.
Yeah. So you've heard it a lot recently, but I probably said it 4 times, maybe in my life.
Yeah, I think you've said them all to me, maybe.
That could be it.
Yeah.
That could be it.
I'm your cool Rick and Morty friend, Gary.
You're my dark mirror.
Ooh.
No, Zach Hanlon's my cool Rick and Morty friend. You're just my regular podcast friend.
Thank you, Gary. I think.
So, yeah. Boy,
Shout
Rick and
out
Morty.
to Zach.
Shout out to Zach.
We've started like Where's Waldoing a shout out to Zach every single week.
So if you take the timestamps of every time they appear, that's the new ARG.
Absolutely.
Boy, Rick and Morty.
Rick,
something that I want to like,
pal
but
Morty.
Yeah, this is culturally kind of gross to me, but I'm sure it's still probably good.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's still good.
I
Gary,
stopped
you got a
watching
Morty?
it.
You got a Morty?
End of season 2. Jeez, Rick.
Oh, jeez,
It's
Rick.
me.
Oh, jeez, Rick. It's Morty and Morty going at it today.
It's Morty. Oh, jeez,
I
Rick.
think this Morty over here is sick.
Oh, God. Take off my leg. It burns.
I mean, these are all things that could definitely have been said and done with Rick and Morty. It's a show of infinite possibilities.
Morty, take off your leg here. I'm a scientist.
It's me, Rick Sanchez.
I'm Rick Sanchez. Yeah. It's been a minute since we've done the burp noise, like the throat noises.
Since we just really fucking drove the show off a cliff, I'd argue it's not.
Well, in this specific way.
Sure,
in the throat noise way.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I did a throat noise, because usually after I do it, my throat's kind of sore for like the next 45 minutes or so after we record.
But yeah, punishment.
Yeah. It's okay, though. I just go lay down. Of course, we're talking about Mr. Me today.
Yeah. An extended Rick and Morty reference. I'll be honest, Gary. Every now and then we hit an item in this game where I didn't really know what it did until we did the show.
Oh.
Like, okay. I knew what the base thing of this did. Like, the most obvious use case, but all the extra use cases are amazing.
Yeah.
So
this is a deeply creative and cool item.
Very, very cool. This is our first Booster Pack 3 item, I think.
Ooh, welcome to Booster Pack 3, everybody.
Yeah, like the other Booster Pack stuff, this is based off of an item someone came up with, and then Edmund was like, nom, 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 nom.
Yep, number munched it.
It has a, frankly, terrible icon, I think.
Yes.
It's just a box.
It looks a lot like Little Chest.
It looks a lot like Little Chest, but with a button in the front.
Yeah. Yep. And if you've never seen the Pickle Show, in that there's little creatures from a dimension that have to do what you say, and it's torturous for them. And this creates a little ghost.
Not a terribly good. Existing is torturous for them, and they get to die when they do whatever the task they've been set is.
Yeah, but people don't care because they're mean.
Gary,
Rick Sanchez is very mean.
Gary, sometimes I feel like you're dismissive of the art that makes up my personality.
Unpacking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it checks out.
Yeah.
So this similar
Fair and good.
Similar to that character, or those characters, this creates a little ghost that will do whatever you need him to do. Use it. It gives you a little blue crosshair, and you point it at something, and then context dependent, it does a task for you.
This might be the smartest item in the game.
It's really, really clever. And there are definitely like degrees of use case for this.
So the highest, the obvious thing that everybody hits on is that if you send this at any item, it just goes and picks it up and brings it to you. If you send this in an item in a shop situation, it has a 50% chance of stealing that and bringing it to you for free. Yes.
Which used to be a game breaker, because it used to be that items would always restock.
Yeah.
Based on this character. And with like a unlimited battery pickup, you just get unlimited items. It's still fucking amazing in greed mode.
Yes.
I will give up the D6 for this in greed mode if it appears.
Yeah. This works in any shop context, so it can work in Devil Deals too.
Yep. Super good. The next use case I would say is opening doors and chests. So it can act as a key or a bomb.
Yeah. The crazy thing about this that I did not know is that this opens any door that Dad's key would open, which means that this opens the Mega Satan door, which means that this is a shop item that opens the Mega Satan door. That's fucking huge.
Yep. Super cool.
That's fucking huge.
It's fucking huge, Morty.
That's like, it's me, Rick Sanchez, the scientist, and that's fucking huge.
And I'm the dad. I don't think you should do that, Rick.
You played by Chris Parnell, one of the greatest voice actors currently working, also seen on Archer.
Sure, yeah, but leave my son and daughter alone, father-in-law. You seem like a real abusive prick.
I feel like there's Jerry is a rich character, and you're really kind of fucking just taking the piss out of him, you piece of shit.
I'm not a rich character. I'm just really upset about what you've done to my son.
I liked Jerry, the Rick and Morty character, more than I like you, Gary.
Oh, well. It's very mean. You know he's fictitious.
He is, but
I'm real and I listen to your problems and shit. Come on, man.
I listen to all your fucking problems. Yeah. All the fucking time.
Like, we do this all the time. It's part of our thing. Rick, Jerry Sanchez doesn't do that.
Jerry Smith.
Jerry, whatever his last name is. Jerry Morty.
Smith?
Smith? They chose Smith?
The character's supposed to be boring.
Well, then why did they choose a cool first name like Jerry?
Why isn't he Jerry Butterfuck? Famous literary character.
The other, okay, so then in worse utility, it can attack, which is pretty lame. Mm-hmm. It will die and does very little damage.
It's not much.
And then absolutely the worst thing is it can push a button for you.
Well, except for those fucking repentance buttons that kill everything in the room. And which are usually like set up to be like hard to get to.
Those are the only good buttons. I've been replaying Isaac a lot before bed for comfort, and like, God, I hate the button mechanic. Like 90% of the time, just like, here's a bunch of shitty enemies.
Yeah.
You know,
I like those repentance rooms like that. I think those are
the repentance rooms are great. Like, here's something overwhelming, but it's more of a like an obstacle course than it is a combat challenge.
Yeah. You can also use them to push the greed mode button without taking any damage. So,
yeah, and he'll blow up anything that's like miscellaneous. So like a slot machine or a beggar or something like that.
Or secret room entrances.
Yes. Yeah. Really cool. Incredibly versatile.
4-room charge, which is pretty fair.
Super fair. Yeah. Well balanced. Like, if it had more combat utility, I think it would almost be too good.
Yeah.
You know? But as is, it's kind of like a Swiss Army knife you get to have on your run. Like, this is great.
It's really, really cool. I love this item. I need to take it more, because a lot of times I'm like, I don't want to steal from the shop. But that's because I wasn't using it properly. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's just very good. Like, a first floor Mr. Me is extremely cool. That is going to dial you for a lot of things. So, there's also the patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv.
Yeah. You could shoot some money to, the network.
Mm-hmm. We'll see if Cole has a better Rick Sanchez impersonation.
Gary, yours was so fucking good.
I know he doesn't. The thing. Cole's voice is too deep to do a lot of those kind of voices. His impersonation game is limited.
This is a weird subtweet, man.
Not subtweet. I'd tell it to his face. Like, it's just, his voice is very deep. So when he does a voice for things, sometimes it's just like, man, that's real off, buddy. It's not his fault. He's got too much testosterone.
Maybe the meanest thing that's ever been said about Cole on this podcast.
Oh, you mean the aging sycophant?
No, Gary, you're the aging traitor. He's the weasel with a secret.
Oh, okay.
I would never describe Cole as aging.
Okay. Yeah, because he's not.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough. But there is a portrait of him that I have that is aging.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then you can also leave us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Podcast Addict.
Yeah. This one was left on Apple Podcasts from Dang, That's One Big Chungus. Everything to Guppy, a treatise. Friend of Cole Ross and noted sensual deviant Gary Butterfield joins adult son AV club writer Will Hughes to discuss a video game in great detail. Video games, the final frontier of entertainment media. From Pong to Tekken 3, games have been capturing our hearts with their nimble storylines, beautiful gameplay, and heart-wrenching graphics. In this essay, I will discuss the consequences of gaming upon the human race by exploring 3 out of 5 stars. And that was a 5-star review.
That's very funny. I love those intro to like a Newsweek article about how gaming's not just Pac-Man anymore.
Bing, bang, boom. Comic books aren't just for kids anymore. It's me, Rick Sanchez, super scientist.
Hey, Rick, stop being in your daughter's life.
And podcast.
Please.
Please? Hey, can we please stop fucking around and just end the podcast? Hey,
Please?
I'm talking to you, the listener, right now. I'm not going to... This is going to go on for another 20 minutes.
We're going to keep going. You have to turn it off. We're putting the power in your hands.
This is your fucking moment. Podcasting is such a fucking... like, passive medium, but right now, you could stop this.
Will, do we really want to let the listeners know that they can end the podcast whenever they want?
Absolutely, Gary. The end state of Guppy is for every single person to delete the feed. That's how we win.
Yes.
The day I see an episode of Everything to Guppy that has had no downloads is the day I know I have done what I was put on this fucking earth to do.
That would legitimately actually be really incredible.
It would be amazing, Gary.
Like, I wouldn't feel good about it.
Well, that's where we're different.
Yeah, like, but it would be really amazing. I'd be surprised.
What if I started password protecting the show?
Ooh. Would we hide the password somewhere, or would you... How do we determine the password?
I think I could just put it out on my Twitter, probably. But just to make it just a little bit more inconvenient to get to.
Yeah, it makes it kind of add some OnlyFans energy.
Sure. This show has big OnlyFans energy.
Yeah, already, Just sub to your sub hour with the 2 subs who get into sub-offs.
Gary, I want to officially state, anyone who's still listening at this point, you fucked up and you lost the podcast and podcast. And
that's why you have to think about us as the 2 sub boys in the Only Subs podcast. Just subbing for each other.
Something
turns.
Breedable.
Yeah, getting breed. Lay you down to breed, brother. Just like Miss Piggy would do.